Hello guys, and welcome to this video. This is MDubs here, and it has been a hot minute since I've uploaded. In 2022, we were given a very special announcement that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that was ported from the Wii U version Mario Kart 8 from 2014, would be receiving 48 paid DLC tracks coming into the game. And earlier this year, we were told that new characters from past Mario Kart games will be appearing as characters in the game. They started out by giving us Mario Kart Double Dash veteran Birdo, as well as 9 skin variants. We know that there will be at least 5 more characters added into the game based on the character selection screen after Birdo was added. Over the past few months, I've held polls on my channel which asked my viewers, is this Mario Kart character likely to reappear in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass? And you all have voted for which characters you think are least and most likely to make it into the game. However, what you didn't know is that I also made a ranking of my likelihood of each of the 17 characters from past Mario Kart games, from Super Mario Kart all the way to Mario Kart Tour, will be to appear in Mario Kart Deluxe at a later date. The 17 characters that will be featured in this video are as follows. From Super Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Jr. From Mario Kart Double Dash, Diddy Kong, Paratroopa, and Petey Piranha. From Mario Kart DS, Rob. From Mario Kart Wii, Funky Kong. From Mario Kart 7, Honey Queen and Wiggler. And from Mario Kart Tour, Charge and Chuck, Dixie Kong, Hammer Bro, Kamek, King Bob-omb, Monty Mole, Nabbit, Pauline, and recently added to the game in this year's Easter Tour, Poochie. There are some characters like Peachette and Meowser that I've excluded from this list. While these characters are canon to the Mario series and aren't just costumes slapped on the characters, I feel like Nintendo has learned their mistake of adding characters like Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach to the game over characters like Bowser Jr., Dry Bones, and King Boo, who were not initially in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, but were later added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. So with the Booster Course Pass, they're definitely catering to fan service by adding in fan favorite tracks such as Coconut Mall and Waluigi Pinball. I see the exact same thing happening here. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking and see how similar our rankings are. I would like to start out this ranking by saying that all 32 courses that are currently in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass are also playable at the current moment in Tour. The only exception is GCN Waluigi Stadium, which has been data mined for quite some time to appear in that game. So with that said, I feel that characters that are not currently playable in Mario Kart Tour will have significantly less chances of being added to the game. So number 17, I think practically has no chance at all. And I do hate to say this unfortunately, but I do have to be objective here. It's my boy Rob from Mario Kart DS. Rob was a fun, left field addition to the game that was later introduced in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and has been in every single Super Smash Bros. Title after that. However, I think for the time being, he will only be a one-trick pony for Mario Kart. Notice how in Mario Kart Tour, there is 0 content in there that is not from Mario, Donkey Kong, or Yoshi. The entire Mario Kart 8 Deluxe roster is in that game, save for Link, the Villagers, and the Inklings. Unfortunately for Rob, he does not originate from one of those games, and as mentioned before, content from Tour is what's likely to be ported into the game. I don't think that Rob will be added into Tour at all, and thus he will not be added into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As for your guys' prediction, 13 of you guys unanimously voted no in terms to the appearance of Donkey Kong Jr. to reappear in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. On to 16th place, and once again, it's another character not from Mario Kart Tour, and this was a fairly absurd addition to Mario Kart 7. Let me just remind every single one of you that we got this character instead of Waluigi. Nah! And this was Honey Queen. She's currently not playable in Tour. I don't see her coming into Tour anytime soon. Therefore, I think her chances of being added into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are very slim. As for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and announce 16th and 15th place for what you guys voted at the same time, given that it was a tie. You guys seem to agree with me that Rob and Honey Queen have a very low chance of reappearing in the game as well, given that out of 15 people that answered the poll, Only 13% of you guys voted for yes in terms of these two making a reappearance. I'm not surprised at all that we're in agreement, and I'd be very surprised if any of us ended up wrong. 15th place for me is a bit tricky. It was a bit tough for me to decide between this and 14th place, but I decided to give 15th place to Paratroopa. There are 6 games that have potential to have one of their newcomers added into the game. Mario Kart DS, which we've already rolled out, Super Mario Kart, which we'll get to later, Mario Kart Wii, which has all of its characters in Tour already, Mario Kart Tour itself, and then Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Double Dash. While I don't think Paratroopa or the next character I'm going to be talking about has any chances of being added to the game, I do think that Paratroopa has less chances. I'll get into why next, but friendly reminder, you guys voted Rob and Honey Queen in a tie for this position. 14th place goes to the last character that has not appeared in Tour yet, and it goes to Wiggler. I think if they absolutely had to choose a Mario Kart 7 character, they would choose Wiggler, who is a lot more well known and loved than the obscure choice of Honey Queen. And I think if it came down to adding one of Wiggler or Paratroopa, even though neither one is in Mario Kart Tour at the moment, they would add Wiggler over Paratroopa, given that if they added Paratroopa, there would be 0 representation for Mario Kart 7 that aren't already in Tour. As for you guys, this is an interesting choice. With 20 people voting in the poll, only 15% voted for the return of Nabbit to happen in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, despite him debuting in Mario Kart Tour. We both predicted Kongs for 13th place, however our choices are different. My selection was your guys' last place choice, Donkey Kong Jr. I picked him as the lowest ranking Mario Kart Tour character for a few reasons. The guy's been doomed to only appearing in cameos and remakes of his eponymous game for a very long time. His most recent playable appearance was from 2000 in Mario Tennis for the N64. Of course, he did reappear in Mario Kart Tour, but Mario Kart Tour seems to be a love letter to Super Mario Kart. 15 out of 20 of those courses have appeared in Mario Kart Tour, and it makes sense given that those courses have had 5 laps apiece when they debuted, and Mario Kart Tour courses, of course, only have 2 laps. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, however, out of what will be 96 tracks in the whole game by the end of this year, only 4 of them will be from Super Mario Kart. Even though it did debut in the series we all love and enjoy, the tracks from that game left much to be desired for most, and unfortunately, I think Donkey Kong Jr. isn't relevant enough and will remain out of the game, but his addition to Mario Kart Tour was pretty neat. Speaking of a neat addition to Mario Kart Tour, you guys voted Dixie Kong in the slot, with only 21% voting yes out of 16 total voters. But not all hope is lost for the Kongs. Although I absolutely love this cute little doggo that recently debuted in Mario Kart Tour, I had to give Poochie a low placement. I gave Poochie 12th place because I think if there was any opportunity to add him to the game, it would have been alongside Birdo in Wave 4. Instead, he is seen in a cameo on the course Yoshi's Island on top of the mailbox near the starting line. I fear that will continue to be the case as I don't think my boy Poochie will be added to the game. Who did you guys vote for 12th place? Well, this character also only had 21% of the votes, but I bumped him a bit higher on the list due to 19 people voting as opposed to 16 for Dixie Kong, and that character was Poochie as well. It's nice that you guys were objective, because while I'm sure most of us would love to see this friendly canine make an appearance as a playable character, it just seems very unlikely to happen. While Dixie Kong was a lovely addition to Mario Kart Tour, at the moment it seems like there's only going to be 5 more characters added, and I think some characters that are closely associated with Dixie Kong have a significantly greater chance to be added as opposed to her, so unfortunately she gets 11th place for me. If she got added along with who I'll talk about in the future, there would just be too much Donkey Kong representation, and I don't think people would be happy with other characters being cut due to too many Kongs. Your guys' vote for 11th place was Monty Mole, with only a quarter of 16 people voting for yes for the likelihood of his reappearance. And what do you know? We all seem to think that Monty's chances of reappearing are rather slim, as I gave him 10th place. He's been a common enemy since his appearance in Super Mario World in 1990, and was also one of the very first enemies in Mario Kart. In Super Mario Kart, Donut Plains 2 and Donuts 3, he can be seen popping from the ground. It's nice that this little guy has been given a chance to actually win the trophy instead of just disturb racers from time to time. But I think we both agree that he just wouldn't be too well received over other characters that will be mentioned shortly. This choice from you guys for 10th place is really interesting, You guys voted Charge and Chuck in 10th place with 30% out of 20 voters voting for him to reappear. My 9th place choice is one that I could actually see myself being wrong about, and would love to be wrong about, because he was supposed to appear in Mario Kart Wii, but got scrapped. Who am I talking about? Well, that would be none other than Hammer Bro. He was brought into Mario Kart Tour with 3 other skins, Fire Bro, Boomerang Bro, and Ice Bro. Each of these characters having a unique and special ability while racing. If Hammer Bro were to be added in the game, I'm not sure that his skins would also be added. I feel like it's just a Mario Kart Tour exclusive deal, and for now, given that Hammer Bro and Ice Bro are able to use 2 items that are not usable in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it would just feel really weird racing as Ice Bro while there being no Ice Flower power. I could see the bros being skinned of each other to avoid eating up character slots, but the Yoshis, Shy Guys, and Birdos come in packs of 9, and I don't think they will make 9 versions of the Hammer Bro, so I'm conflicted about this one. But I think his chances are unlikely and even less likely with his other forms. You guys picked a very interesting choice for 9th place, but with 31% out of 16 voters voting for yes, you guys chose Parachupa from Mario Kart Double Dash. This choice is very intriguing to me. My 8th place choice goes to a character that you guys voted rather low. That title goes to Nabbit. I want to compare Nabbit to Monty-Mole. Monty-Mole debuted as a character in 1990, and Nabbit debuted in 2012 in New Super Mario Bros. U. The Booster Course Pass caters to the new generation for sure, given that between Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64, only 4 courses will be brought back across both of those games. And I feel like that's the case with Monty-Mole and Nabbit. Monty-Mole is a common reoccurring enemy that's had a few playable appearances, but Nabbit is new, and I feel like more people would be hyped up over Nabbit coming into a console game over Monty-Mole. And you guys selected Hammer Bro for 8th place, with a third of 18 people voting yes. We both seem to think he could reappear, but his chances aren't as likely as the others. Coming in at 7th place is Charge and Chuck. I would say this guy isn't as established of an enemy as Goombas or Koopa Troopas, but I do think he's been given a lot of love recently. Of course he was added to Mario Kart Tour, but he was also a playable character in Mario Golf Super Rush. I think this character is in the similar boat as another character that we will discuss very shortly, in that they both debuted very early in the Mario series, but only recently got recognition as playable characters. However, I have him lower on the list because he hasn't been given nearly as much love as the other character. Your guys' choice for 7th place is very shocking. I think this character would be a great addition, but based on the logic I've used before, I don't think he'll make it. Out of 16 voters, a staggering 56% of you voted yes for Wiggler to possibly be playable in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you were one of the people that voted yes on that poll, I'm interested to hear the logic behind it down below in the comments. We are now at the top 6 for me and the top 6 for you guys. A good load of the voters in these polls come from the Kart Park Crew Discord server. This server is a great place to chill and play some games. If you're an ambitious YouTuber, we strongly welcome the promotion of your videos on our platform. If you like playing games, we do too. We play casual matches of not just Mario Kart, but other Nintendo games such as Super Smash Bros. And Mario Party. And from time to time, we hold tournaments. If you want to join in on the fun, all you have to do is join the server using the link below. As mentioned before, we are at the top 6. All characters in my top 6 and your top 6 are the same, but obviously in a different order. For the time being, it seems like we will be only getting 5 more characters, so both of us had to omit 1 character, and they are not the same. My pick for 6th place, and barely missing the cut, is Kamek. Kamek has been given some bad luck as he was data mined for a very early game, Mario Kart 64, only to be replaced by Donkey Kong. He was also data mined to appear in Mario Kart 8. After all these years of being rejected, he was given some love by being a playable character in Mario Kart Tour. This one I am very conflicted on. I feel like I could very easily be wrong, but I think unfortunately for Kamek, it's going to be a three-peat of missed opportunities. He is a fairly prominent enemy not just for Mario games, but also Yoshi games. He's been playable in a few recent entries, and you could play as the Magic Koopas in both Mario baseball games. He even has a fairly strong role in the Super Mario Bros. Movie as Bowser's right-hand man. But much like Poochie, I feel like his grand opportunity to enter the game was last wave in Wave 4, with the debut of Yoshi's Island track. However, I feel like Kamek's chances are significantly higher than Poochie's, because Kamek obviously appears in mainline Mario titles. Well, I did say our top 6 was the same, but actually your choice for 6th place was also your choice for 7th place, given that they tied with Wiggler at 56% with 16 voters. And you guys voted King Bob-omb in 6th place as well as Wiggler. My 5th place guess goes to King Bob-omb. King Bob-omb is someone that I think will make it into the game due to him being a funny and likable character for all generations. People in my generation who grew up playing games like Super Mario 64, where he made his debut, would enjoy his presence in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And people from newer generations who grew up playing games such as Mario Golf Super Rush, where King Bob-omb is actually playable, would enjoy his presence as well. Anyone who plays and enjoys Mario Party would love his presence as well, given that he has several cameos in that series across several different mini-games. I think if King Bob-omb were to be added into the game, several people would enjoy it, and it would be a fun addition, but not one that anyone would complain about. Out of 14 voters, 71% of you guys voted Pauline in 5th place. And speaking of Pauline, the original damsel in distress is who I picked at number 4. If there's any character who's been absent for a long time and has received a lot of love recently, it is definitely Pauline. She received a major role in the hit game Super Mario Odyssey as mayor of New Donk City. From this, she's appeared in other titles as a playable character, such as Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Golf Super Rush, and Mario Strikers Battle League. Now, if we're talking Mario Kart, she was obviously in Mario Kart Tour, but not just that, she was featured in the very first tour. Nintendo is really giving her some love, and I would be fairly shocked to see her not return in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But for me, there's just 3 characters that I think are nearly guaranteed. With only 13 voters and 77% voting yes, Funky Kong places in at 4th place for you guys. And the ape with shades that changed the course of Mario Kart Wii is who I placed in at number 3. I would be very shocked if Funky wasn't added to the game due to the very high demand for his return and just his popularity as a character ever since Mario Kart Wii. Here's another reason why I think Funky Kong will be added to the game. I have already ruled out Donkey Kong Jr. from Super Mario Kart, Rob from Mario Kart DS, and both Honey Queen and Wiggler from Mario Kart 7. If I were to omit Funky Kong as well, this would only leave me with characters who debuted in Mario Kart Double Dash and Mario Kart Tour. We were told that we would be receiving characters from past titles, and I would be quite surprised if we only received characters from just 2 of the titles. So with the combined fan service and inclusion of more games, I think that Funky is a very likely choice. You guys chose Kamek at number 3 with 81% of 16 voters voting for him to be a candidate for coming back into the game. Honestly, I could very easily see Kamek being in the game, so even if he's not in my top 5, you guys may be right on this one, and we'll just have to see. And now we're at the top 2 for each of us. 2 characters left. I will say this now. Both of these characters, you guys voted unanimously yes to appear in the game. I ranked one higher due to a higher turnout in the poll. And based on my predictions, you are fully on the money. But is it the same order as me? Well, let's just find out. I gave the number 2 spot to none other than Petey Piranha. I can forgive Nintendo for leaving Paratroopa out of Mario Kart for so long, but Petey Piranha being left out of Mario Kart for so long is a travesty. He is a very iconic character that is seen as a boss in several different Mario games, and even a few Super Smash Bros. Games. He is also a playable character in several Mario Sports games. He was recently brought into Mario Kart Tour, and I think his chances of being added in the game are very large. Why is it that you ask? Well, let's go back to Wave 4. Birdo was added to the game alongside the Yoshi's Island course. Earlier this year, we got a brand new Nitro track added to Mario Kart Tour, and that was Piranha Plant Cove. It's no question that this course will eventually be ported over to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and if it's being bundled with a character, what better choice than Petey Piranha? I will say he is considerably likely, but I have one character that I'm even more confident will make it in. However, do you guys have the same opinion as me? Well, again, you guys voted unanimously for both of these characters, but less people voted for Diddy Kong, which puts him at 2nd place for you guys. Which obviously means that my number 1 choice is Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong was a playable character in Mario Kart Double Dash as Donkey Kong's partner. However, much like Birdo, he also made a reappearance in Mario Kart Wii. However, the poor guy was robbed of a spot in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, in the base Wii U game, in the Wii U DLC, and in the base Switch game. It's a crying shame that he has been left out for so long. This means that for 9 whole years, Donkey Kong has been carrying his series by himself. I feel that for sure we will get at least one Donkey Kong character, and I think that the correct answer is Diddy Kong. In Mario Kart Tour, Diddy Kong was welcomed back in the first tour, which makes me highly optimistic that he will return. I mean, for crying out loud, he was even given a Hot Wheels toy for a game that he wasn't in. If Hot Wheels can put him in the lineup, Nintendo can too, and I'm nearly certain that they will. He has been robbed from this game for way too long, and it is time that he gets the justice that he deserves. Only 14 of you guys voted for Diddy Kong, whereas 18 of you voted for PD, which makes him your #1 choice. So to conclude everything, my audience and I both think that Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and PD Piranha will be added into the game. I personally think that King Bob-omb will be also added, while you guys think Kamek will be added. But this is only in a world where there's 5 additional characters. Maybe we will see more, but the fact that we're getting at least 5 additional characters, as well as Birdo, makes me even more thrilled with the Booster Course Pass and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a whole. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to me as it helps my channel grow. Until next time, this is MDubs, signing out.